All right. Hi, everyone. Hi. I think we're live. Yeah,
Hello.
we should be live now. Hi. Thank you for coming to the stream. My name is Lindy Jung. I am a science fiction and fantasy writer pursuing traditional publishing, and I have two wonderful guests here today, and we're all going to be doing some writing streams and chat. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Yes. Well, thanks so much for having us, Lynn. I was telling you this earlier. I've been watching you for years, so this feels kind of surreal to be here on the channel. But I'm Alyssa. I write thrillers, and I'm also seeking traditional publishing. I'm currently querying. And I'll be working on a synopsis for the book I'm getting kind of ready to go into the trenches with. So, yeah.
Amazing. I'm Ari. Hi, everybody. You can find me at Ari's pages or at AriBPK. I am so excited to be here. Thank you for having us, Lynn. I write primarily speculative fiction, and I am working on my eco-fantasy novel, Pretend the Earth Doesn't Call, and I'm writing kind of a more polished first draft during these sprints. So I haven't been writing at all the past week, so I'm like really excited to get back into it.
Yeah. Amazing. Okay, so we have chat going. If anyone has any questions, we'll take a couple minutes to answer them. It looks like people are mostly saying hi. But yeah, so we're all kind of working on different things, but we're all kind of looking toward that publishing goal, which is pretty exciting. And yeah, thank you again both for coming on here. Let's look at some of these comments. So we have some people from Europe, which is really good because I feel like time zones are so tricky. Yeah, this was a really good time. I think it was Alyssa or Ari, one of you guys picked this time, but apparently it's working out for our European friends.
Well, that's good.
Yay. So glad. Welcome.
Too. And then we have Dami here. Hi, Dami.
Hi, Dami.
Synopsis, the best part.
No.
I really feel for you, Alyssa.
It'll be fine. I am struggle buzzing my way through it, but I'm also just doing it for my own sanity to make sure I actually know what happens and in what order. So it'll be so fun, right?
Yeah.
Have you gotten the query letter for it written already?
My query letter at the moment is like I have like intro paragraph written pretty much with like 18 comp options, and then I have like Danny's paragraph because it's dual POV, and then I have like a bunch of bullet points, and then my other POV with some bullet points, and then like the stakes rising paragraph. So I have it like in a bullet pointed outline. I just haven't really threaded it together yet. So I probably won't be querying until March or April. I'm still going to send it out to some beta readers first. So who knows how much, more edits I'll have to do, but we're nearing the home stretch though, which is wild.
I know. Yeah. That's always so exciting. If you ever need,
and the fact that you have,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
That's really nice. No, but the fact that you have bullet points too, I feel like you're basically there. Like, I feel like threading them together is easier compared to like actually getting all the bullet points down.
Yeah. I'd hope to not ever have to write a query letter again, but and who knows, maybe not. But at this point I'm like, okay, I'll just suck it up and do it.
So exciting though. A question. Yeah, I totally forgot to say what I'm working on. I've been oscillating back and forth between like rereading Moths, my adult dark academia fantasy, and working on Crypts, which is my adult gothic fantasy, which is in draft 1. So I think I'm just going to do drafting today to get some typing in because I've been just staring blankly at a screen for hours already.
Struggle.
Yeah, seriously. Francine says, hi, this is my first writing stream. What usually happens during these? We sprint and we write and we chat.
It's like a fun little way to just like get some writing in with some friends, and we'll chat. You guys can ask questions. We'll write. We'll chat.
More specifically, we're going to be doing chunks of like 25-minute sprints today. So we'll talk a bit, set a timer for 25 minutes, type, or read, or anything else. And then we'll come back in, catch up, and do it all again. It's kind of how these go. Okay. I think we can probably jump right into it if everyone's ready. Let me see. Oh, great. I hit the right one.
Let's get to work, everybody.
Yeah.
I love this background too.
I know, it's so nice. I haven't used Focus before, but I think that's what Brielle tends to use.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah. All right, if everyone's ready, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to leave my mic on because I usually do for typing sounds. But yeah, otherwise it'll be pretty quiet. Okay. Great.
Good luck.
Good luck. Never fails to startle me. Great.
Me too.
That one wasn't a scary one though. Like some of the others, it was a little more common.
Some are like full on alarm clock, tornado siren.
Somebody who used
Exactly.
to stream, I don't remember who this was. They would have like a chicken, like a what do chickens make? What is that noise? A cluck, a bok? It was something like that. That was the most jarring version.
Oh my gosh.
So I'll take chimes any day.
That sounds like a prank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a bunch
Thank you
of
for the
different chicken
support.
noises.
Yes, thank you.
Cock block.
I
Love
could
it.
not think of the
Quack.
word bok. I was like, what is that? Like, is it?
Yeah. But cluck is also like that's what you would call the sound they're making, but then when they actually say it, it sounds like I don't know.
I think it was like
Not
a rooster, the crowing of a
Oh,
rooster, like a
okay.
cock-a-doodle-doo kind of moment.
Okay.
Mm,
That is startling. Oh my god, roosters are so loud.
they
That would
are
freak me out.
jarring.
I nodded like I knew that, but I've never heard a rooster in real life, so I don't know. But
We used to my dad would like occasionally keep backyard chickens back in California, and then I think my mom from her work, her coworker was like, I have 4 silky chickens and they're babies and you can just have them. All 4 were roosters and they all hit puberty one after another. And so we just heard like the crowing.
Wait, can you have 4 roosters together?
No, we had to
won't
like
they eat each other or something?
rehome
I don't know. I
them.
heard that somewhere.
I don't think they did that. We figured it out before they were like fully mature, but we had to rehome them because it was just way too much.
Sounds like a
Yeah.
ruckus.
It was a ruckus. But how was the sprint for you guys? How'd you do?
Yeah, mine was pretty good. I think I'm about 400 words in, but I'm like setting up kind of the setup and the stakes, and it actually is making more sense. Like the chronology. I don't know if that's the right word, but of the story. Like, I was worried about cause and effect. Like, does each chapter actually make sense for them to be doing? But it actually is working, so that's exciting. I don't have to rewrite my whole book again. Hopefully, at this point.
Yeah, no, that's really good.
Fingers crossed.
I love when, seeing the cause and effect from that like macro kind of, as an overview is really helpful, I think.
Yeah.
well.
That's awesome. Yeah, that actually went pretty well. I think I got 560 that time. I'm writing the inciting incident, so it's like things are like happening, which is like it's a fun scene to write. So yeah, it feels good to get back into it. How about you, Lynn?
That was, I did like 350 words and I was just kind of like scanning around. I think I'm going to slightly change my setup because there's like, excuse me, like a false circumstance in which my main character goes into the situation and I want it to be a slightly different false circumstance. I'm sorry for being so vague, but
No, I get it. Yeah.
it's the way it's got to be.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of seeing where I can kind of tweak things and maybe if I have to do like an overhaul on some of these chapters, but we'll see.
It's exciting.
So fun to overhaul the whole book. I hope that's not
So
it.
fun. It's not very far along, so at least it wouldn't be like the whole book overhaul, but Oh, we've got some good progress in chat. Someone got 403, 337.
Nice.
772 love silkies. Yeah, I was really excited for the silkies until they all turned out to be boys. Ugh.
Oh, man.
Men. Problematic. Silky men. Oh my gosh. Oh, wow, I just zoomed in on everything. Okay. Wait, Joy is here. Hi, Joy. 755 words. Oh my gosh.
Nice.
Okay.
That's impressive. All right. Showing us up a little bit. Okay. Well, I figured we can have like an open kind of space for any questions that chat might have. If you guys want to drop any questions, we'll have a couple minutes to like get some downtime and answer them. And I think someone up here was like, how many sprints are you guys going to do? And depending on timing, like 2 or 3, probably we might do another 25 and then maybe a short one if you guys are up for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be flexible. Streams are always like kind of go with the flow. See what you can.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a question for you guys. Or like a question we can all go through. Did y'all hear that? Oh, it started over. Okay, wait. That's on me.
Is
Sorry.
that the break
Should
timer?
I think so. Our break's over. No, we can keep going on break. Actually, let me restart this so it's back to 25 minutes. But my question for you guys is, actually, this is a question that I think Brielle asked on our last stream, but it's like, what do you think that you're the most proud of in terms of your writing? Like, what would you say is one of your skills that you've developed or had initially that you feel really proud of? And it's like a hallmark of your work.
It's a tough one.
This
I know.
is tough. I used to always say, like, the plot. Like, I used to always say, like, I can't write a sentence, but I could write a book, you know? Like, I am, like, line level is not my favorite thing. But now I don't know anymore. I've been kind of having a crisis about that. Like, can I actually write the ending of a book, you know?
You can. Yes,
Well,
you can.
I don't know about that. I mean, this is not to just like take a tangent or anything. I will keep it brief, but I've had a lot of full requests, and then a lot of them have come back and saying something similar along the lines of like, the story's not quite coming together in the way I want, you know, and I'm like, does that mean that it's bad? Like, you can just tell me if it's bad, you know? So now I'm just having a bit of a crisis about that. But generally, I think that plotting is like, maybe setting up a good plot is my strength. Can I execute it? We will see. But yeah. Anyway,
it's tough to like to try to bring all those threads together at the end, but like it's also, you know, it's so tough too for querying. It's like feedback you're getting when you just want somebody to be like, this is amazing, you know?
Yeah.
So
or
tough.
them to just tell me exactly, like, don't sugarcoat it. Like,
Yeah.
if it was bad, just tell me, you know? But I'm really just trying to work through that because I'm like, this is a different book. This is a different story. Like, I need to just focus on this right now. But anyway, someone else answer the question before I just spill all of my doubts on the internet.
I think for me, I think like with actual craft, like in my own writing, I think I do interiority really well. And I think that is particularly because I have a lot of interiority myself. But yeah, I think that that's one thing that I really enjoy writing. And I think like the character arc of like interiority, where it's like that, especially for like short stories, I feel like books, I'm still kind of figuring it out, but I feel like for short stories, like I'm most proud of those moments of like interiority where at the very end, like something, you can feel the switch in like the character at the end, like that I think is like what I'm most proud of, I would say.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. How about you, Lynn?
I'm trying to remember my answer before when I was asked this question. It was, I think for me, it's like authenticity, which is a little bit broader. I think in terms of like bringing my experiences into my writing and my themes and my stories and characters in a way that isn't like just, you know, this is a memoir with some fantasy elements, but having those come through and reflect. And some feedback that I really have gotten consistently on my writing, or not even feedback, but something I've noticed is that like very different people will read my writing and then get very different things from it, or like or perceptions of the theme or the characters or the story. And I really like that. Like my favorite thing is just hearing how people interpret my work. And I feel like a lot of that comes from me just like putting a very real something in it from various aspects of my life. And yeah, writing realistic characters with realistic problems, even in spec. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been proud of lately.
Yeah. It's always so fun too to see like how the work kind of like evolves when it's out of your hand, and like how people interpret it. Like I find that so fascinating.
I do too. I really, really enjoy that aspect. And I think it's something that has been pushing me to, you know, pursue publishing and get my work out there so I can, see how it impacts people. Not in like a big important, like, oh, my work is going to change the world. Nothing like that, but just see how they interpret that story and those characters and stuff. So
yeah, totally.
We have a question here from Ren. What would you consider your anti-genre, a genre you'd find the hardest time writing if tasked?
It's a great question, Ren.
Yeah. I haven't really thought about that ever.
No. The closest I can think of is like once I was put in a situation where I was asked to write a young adult contemporary, and I was like, I don't read that genre. Like, I respect,
Mm.
but it's not something that I read, and so I wouldn't know how to write it.
Yeah, I think like something like really hardcore science fiction, which is funny because I feel like you guys write like sort of in the same area, right? But if like world building, like keeping track of all of that stuff, like more and like fantasy, I think is one thing. I think like sci-fi is like a whole nother level. So and I just like prefer to like stay in the real world a little bit with writing. So I
Mhm.
think I would have trouble going to sci-fi.
Yeah.
But it would maybe be fun one day.
Hmm.
For me, without a doubt, it's horror. Like, I just cannot do horror. Um, I think it's like I can watch a horror movie, but it's like I just don't love it.
Mhm.
And like I think there's moments like of horror that you like can interject like in anything that you're writing, but just like as a genre, I don't think I could do it.
That's fair. I think like pure horror is really, really hard to do well as literature
Yeah,
also. Like you just have to I don't even know. I don't read a lot of pure horror. I like horror elements sprinkled into things a little bit, but like a full
yeah,
on Stephen King, like that's beyond me. Um
same.
Hmm.
I'm trying to catch up a little bit. Here's a cool. How many times do you guys edit your draft before sending it over to beta readers?
Hmm. It kind
Once?
of depends which
Yeah.
like how good the book of is like how good the state of the book is. I have a few people I give it to like too early, frankly, where I've done maybe 2 drafts, you know, but typically I would say probably 3 drafts is about
Wow.
how many I do before like giving it to somebody because I want to make sure however many drafts it takes for me to like know that it makes sense. And that's
Hmm.
when I give it to other people is to get like a vibe check, you know?
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I think for short stories, I think it can be like 2 or 3 drafts, honestly, because like short stories are quicker. And I think for books, it's like I have like critique partners that I'll like send it at like very early versions. But like honestly, for me with beta readers, it just depends like how fed up with the story I am. If I'm just like, I can't look at this anymore, then I'll generally send it over. But like if like I'll kind of try to get it polished. So like probably like 2 rounds, like one messy draft, one like somewhat polished draft, and then I'll send it over, I would
Hmm.
say.
Yeah. Yeah,
How
just
about
like
you,
kind of
Lynn?
getting it to that point. Yeah, I think it
Hmm.
really depends a lot for me. I tend to draft very clean just because I have a copy editing background.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Um, and I get sick of my books and stories really fast. So I'm like usually like,
Yeah.
all right, one or two and it's out. I don't want to deal with this right now. But that like I should probably be a little more diligent. But also like all my beta readers, we've been like working together reading each other's stuff for a really long time. So it's kind of more
Yeah.
comfortable.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Also, quick interjection. Chris is here, and Chris's anti-genre is romance. Who could have guessed? Hi, Chris. I think Kelly was in here earlier too. Hi to everyone who's here. Thank you for being here. All right,
Hello.
I'm going back up to grab a couple more questions, and then wait, I think I went too far. And then we'll probably go into the next 25 minute sprint after that, if that's okay with y'all.
Yeah.
Great. Um, ooh, who's an author you would love to get an all in exclusive conversation with about their books? Like, ask every question you've ever had about a book to the person who wrote it.
Yes.
So interesting.
Love this question.
Hmm.
Yeah, this is a good one.
I can answer because I know. Like N.K. Jemisin, without a doubt.
Mm,
I would love to sit in a room with her and just like talk to her. I feel like she is just a wealth of knowledge and
mhm.
so intentional about everything that she does in all of her books. I would love to sit and chat with her.
Yeah, that's awesome. What kind of questions would you ask her?
Oh my God. Well, I think so. I've actually watched her masterclass and her
Mhm,
whole world building. It's so interesting because she really starts from like the world in. So she doesn't start with character first. She starts with like the ecology of the entire world first. And then she thinks about like, okay, if this is a planet, like, and this is the culture, this is what the weather is like, how it influences the people, like what would be the most interesting story to tell on this planet. And I think I would just want to like pick her brain of like, okay, like how do you determine that? Like how do you figure out what the most interesting story on this entire planet, like across all these cultures would be? Yeah, I'd really love to pick her brain on that.
That is so cool. What the
Yeah.
heck?
Her
That's
masterclass is
awesome.
amazing. Like I would really, if you're into speculative fantasy, anything, like I would
Mhm.
really recommend her masterclass.
Yeah, it's been on my radar for a while, but masterclass is like a paid thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out.
But I did it just for hers for like a day. I think I
Yeah.
had like a 7-day free pass, and I was just like, okay, I know exactly what I'm watching.
Oh my
Lock
gosh,
it
okay.
in.
Good tip. That's a professional, that's a pro tip right there. Okay, good to know.
I don't think I have anybody like really off the top of my head. I've never really been super interested in like maybe this is a problem, but like talking to authors like outside of their work about the work, because I feel like it should just like all be in the book. You know, and people are like, if I could ask, you know, some famous author about the backstory of this random person, you know, like I get the desire to want that, but I'm like, I want it to be in the book. I want everything I need to be actually just in the book, you know?
Mhm.
But I feel like just talking to like mystery writers, or not even mystery, more so thriller, who have been doing it for a long time, just to see like, how do you keep it fresh? Like, how do you come up with new crimes? Like, how much do you know going in? I think that would just be interesting from a genre perspective, but I can't really think of anybody specific though.
Mm-hmm. I looked at my bookshelf and I think I'd probably talk to Ken Liu just because I really dig his short fiction, and he kind of has the career that I want, where it's like novels and short fiction, also just a really good storyteller. So it would be cool to talk about craft, but yeah, I don't know. That's a really interesting one. I think it's always like cool to chat with authors, but then you chat with them and usually they're just, people.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, another one or we have one from Dami here. Least favorite trope, like what trope spurs the burn it to the ground, immediate DNF, burn down the city, destroy everything, we take no prisoners, kind of dislike.
Oh, I have one. It's not even a trope, really. Well, so then maybe it's not an answer, but I really don't like when, specifically in thrillers, characters are just dumb, and like that's how you got to the point. Like that's how the criminal was able to get away with it. Like I just like that irks me to my core is like or when miscommunication is done for that reason too, is because like the author doesn't want to figure out some other way, you know, when it's like, oh, she's just like didn't think of that. I'm like, no, she's a detective who's apparently been working for 20 years. I think she would think of that, you know, like that is something that irks me a lot actually. But
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And I feel like that's almost a trope because there is like a lot in thriller and mystery where it's like, why is this character not intelligent all of a sudden?
exactly. Like, why did you not notice how suspicious this person was being? Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is a good one. Honestly, I feel like this is really controversial, but like any one, I think I have a really hard time with just like any sort of like, I don't know if it's a trope, but like suspended disbelief. Like I have a really hard time with that. Like if they put something in that I'm just like, they're like, you need to trust me for a little while. Like, even if this feels unrealistic, like I just have a really hard time with that. But also, like forced marriage, I hate that trope. Like I hate any
Yeah.
sort of like forced marriage trope. Not into it. Like feels super unconsensual, and no.
It also always feels a little forced. Like, really?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
really, this was the only option? And also, not only are you gonna like have to get married by force, but then you're also gonna like live with them just because you happen to be married legally. Like, really? Like, that's what we're doing?
Like, oh,
I'm
you
just,
have
like,
to share a
immediately
bed.
no.
Like,
Yeah.
Immediately
okay.
no. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I can't think of a specific one, but I was thinking along the lines of like anything where it's like, oops, well, this has to happen now. Like they have to be together, and like the reason is very unconvincing. But I think I'm that way with all tropes, where tropes are a tool and on their own they're neutral, but if they're utilized poorly, I really get sick of them really quickly.
Yeah. I love tropes when they're like flipped on their head and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, this is
Mhm.
interesting. But yeah,
Mhm.
completely agree, Lynn.
Yeah. What? Wait. Okay. Joy said, I don't know if I loathe anything quite enough to burn it to the ground, but I'm pretty much done with shadow daddies. What is a shadow daddy?
You know what the shadow daddies are? It's like all of the romantasy, like Fourth Wing has a shadow daddy, Throne of Glass, Avatar.
I know Akotar has the rice hand. The
Yeah,
rice
he's a
hand.
shadow daddy.
Yeah. Okay.
Jorian.
Do they all
I could
have
list the shadow daddy.
shadow powers though? Is that what makes them shadow daddies?
Yeah,
Or is
and
it
then it's
not?
like the shadows are like his hands, like his shadows are surrounding me. Like that's what the shadow daddy energy is about. And everyone's like, and sometimes the shadow, like in the scenes, if you know what I'm saying, the shadows will play a part. I think it's pretty lazy, but it's like it's this idea of like he's so dark and mysterious, and I want to
Yeah.
personify that with a shadow.
I feel
You
like it's
know?
really grown out of like the romance genre of like a dark and moody guy that's just like
Yes.
super
Which is
mysterious, but then
yeah.
it has like the fantasy twist of like, but he has shadow powers too to make him
Mhm.
extra dark and mysterious, right? Like,
Mhm.
I don't mind if it's like he happens to, but it's like when the whole book is like, okay, like the shadows. I'm like, put that away, please.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I did
And the
read Light Work.
Darkling. Sorry. And the
Oh
Darkling.
yeah. I never
He would
really
think was the
understood
OG.
shadow magic. Like it's just
Darkness.
yeah.
It's also
just
like, oh, he's
darkness.
bad. Darkness. Ooh. Who would have thought?
Oh my gosh. That's so funny how that's become a dark and brooding, but the dark is the shadows, not their complexion.
Oh.
Oh my god. You're so
Mhm.
right. Ooh.
I love Dami.
Me too.
Dobby is out here like
Dami is the
this
best.
reminds me of when I used to like practice dialogue in stream chats. Like that was my goal, was to like think of like what's like the funniest thing I could say right now, and Dobby is killing it.
Yes. Yes. Oh my god. Okay, thank you for illuminating me. I had like kind of a concept, but it just didn't come together for me, but that makes sense. That does make sense.
I'm actually
Um,
sorry to illuminate you on that. I no one
I'm
needed
just
it,
like
but
no, I like to know these things. I'm just not on like social media that much, and I don't know anything about, I think, book social media circles. So I'm missing out on all of this like delicious knowledge.
delicious is a word.
Um, I don't want peace, I want problems always. Yes. Perfect. Iconic. Okay, should we go for another sprint?
Yeah.
Let's
Okay,
do it.
perfect. Okay.
Good luck, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, good luck.
Wait, I love that Dami. I don't want peace. I want problems always.
Oh.
It's gonna be up.
I'm leaving it up. That was an accident, but now it's on purpose.
Perfect. I love it.
Cool. We're all set with that one. Let me turn off the timer. How did that go for you guys?
Pretty good. I'm through the I'm like right at the Dark Night of the Soul in terms of synopsis. So got through Act 2, which is always terrible. So we're through we're through Act 2. So that's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's always Act 2. Always.
Always.
What's up with that? Yeah, it was good. I think I got like 400 words this time.
Nice.
Yeah. How about you, Lynn?
Yeah, I'm at about like 450. I'm writing Act 2 and it's a nightmare. So very much relate to your struggles right now. I'm also grabbing a blanket because it's so cold. Oh my gosh. The
It is
Midwest
so cold. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
It was snowing here like half an hour ago. But
it's completely white outside my
is it?
window. Like I can't even see. Yeah.
We haven't had snow since Christmas, and we're supposed to be like the snowy part. So
yeah,
I don't know
we didn't have it
about.
for a while, and then yesterday it started again. So
maybe
who
it'll
knows?
come toward us.
Yeah.
Okay, looks like we had some good progress from people in the chat. Another few hundred, 337, 293. I feel like 250 to like 250 and up is a great amount of progress for 25 minutes.
Yeah.
For sure. Okay, great. We can see if anyone in chat has any more questions too. But if you guys want to pose some questions for us and for the chat, I am going to take Dami's iconic. Oh wait, no, that's not Dami's anymore. But I'm gonna hide the comments for now. Yeah.
I love asking. I feel like I might have asked this in a chat in the stream that you were in, Alyssa, but this is one of my favorite questions to ask people is like, I don't know if you've ever seen the like unhinged PowerPoint trends.
Yes.
Have you seen those trends? Okay. If you had to make one for your book, what would be in it?
Oh.
And like, obviously no spoilers.
Right.
If you can't, but general, what would be in your unhinged PowerPoint?
Oh my gosh.
It's a tough question.
Yeah. It requires a lot of like critical thinking of like what would be like funny to like organize in an interesting way about the book. Do you have an answer for that one, Ari?
Oh my God. I think it would be so like my main character has kind of like druid-ish powers if you play like D&D or anything like that. But she can like control plants. So I think it would just be like an unhinged ranking of like all of the plants that she like like controls. Yeah, that's what I think what mine would be.
Nice. For moths, I think it would be like, you know, the Lilo and Stitch like badness level.
Yeah.
Yeah, for my main character, she's kind of a nasty lady, but in a fun way.
I love that.
Yeah. I have this like sort of incompetent person, which seems going to seem like, Alyssa, didn't you just say you don't like anyone being stupid in books? But my main character, she's like a detective technically, and she has like a partner, and he's just like a fool. Like he's just like very incompetent at his job. And so it would be like a tier ranking of all of the different ways that Patrick is his name, just like mishandles evidence and is terrible at his job. You know, which is like depressing, but also like I feel like it's kind of accurate.
That is I love that his name is Patrick. I feel like that's a classic, like kind of a lovable fool.
Yeah. But yeah, he's probably the most complicated character in the book, honestly. He's got a lot of different stuff going on.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. They're all a mess.
Yeah. Honestly, those are my favorite books. Where I'm like, every character is a mess, but also I understand them. Like I know why they're like that. That's always so satisfying. Okay, well, I have a question for Alyssa from Leia. It is, what's the best way to hide a body?
It's a really interesting question. I feel like I have less like body hiding advice and more like logistical like knowledge about different charges within the justice system, which is much more depressing. But because I don't really hide bodies very often, because I don't write really murder mysteries, really. And so it's more just
kidnapping.
like other stuff. Yeah, there's like other kidnapping things. But I would say like generally, if you really want my advice, is don't kill anyone. So don't have any bodies to hide. But I think like burning is pretty, foolproof, freezing. Dismembering, but the dismembering gets tricky because you leave a lot of evidence when you dismember someone because there's just like a lot of blood everywhere, but don't bury. That's just dumb.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
When I used to live by the ocean, for context, it's not that I have like for myself, but for story. It'd be like, well, just weigh it down, toss it in there. Maybe a shark will have at it, but I feel like they wash up, so you'd have to go out pretty far.
Yeah, there's so much in the ocean. Like, I feel like that's actually a good strategy. But I found, if anybody, my real tips are there's an FBI database. Like, they have these like databases that are like open to the public. That's like all this information about all these different types of crimes. And so there's like, I was looking through like all the histories of bank robberies, and it like breaks it down by like what kind of weapon was used, how many hostages were injured, how many people died, who were the types of people. It like broke it down by year and by state and by like all the demographics, and I was like, this is very helpful information.
That's so interesting,
so organized.
So like if you are really looking for crime information, that's where I would go.
There we go. Crime tips from Alyssa.
New segment, new series on the channel. Oh man,
oh my god, that's so good. Thank you for the question, Leia. Oh snap, I should have asked what's the best kidnapping method.
That's for another time. I don't have time to get into it.
Yeah, let's not get on the FBI watch list right
No,
now.
I already
on it. Like,
I am already there fully.
Oh my gosh. I have real worries about that. I'm like, am I gonna get?
Mine are all so specific. Like if you look at my like Google searches in a row, it's like, can you be arrested for an armed robbery if the gun wasn't loaded? I'm like, someone is going to look at that and really think like, and then the next question will be, how long? Like, can you get out on bail for an armed robbery? Like there's like all of these questions. But
it's like, what are you planning?
Like, what's going on here?
Oh my god. Yeah.
That is so funny.
Gotta do it though. It's for the craft. It's for the art.
For the art.
For the art.
Sacrifice.
Yes.
We have a question from Joy. Which area of writing have you improved in the most over the last year?
I think my interiority has gotten better. And like the flow, like I don't know. I think this is technically interiority of like connecting for the reader, like why we're making decisions, like the narrator, whoever's head you're in, like following why things happen, based on like what they're thinking about. I think that's something I've really improved on this year for sure.
Nice. Yeah.
That's awesome. I feel like a big one for me is like understanding how to craft the plot so that it like pushes the character arc forward. Like I feel like I didn't really understand like how plot and character arc like hook into one another. And I feel like having that like cause and effect of like plot impacting the character development, like I feel like that has gotten stronger over the past year.
Nice. I think my prose is continuing to level up. And then I have a wrap-up video coming out tomorrow, so I think I talk a little bit more about lessons learned and improvements in that, but definitely like connecting all the different, like there's so much to consider when you're writing. There's theme and characters and character arcs and plot and like genre and marketability, and they all have to come together. And I think I've gotten a little bit better at combining all those things, but there's still like a lot to learn, which is exciting because I like learning about writing. Yeah, that's a good one. Like I'll pose that question back to chat because I feel like it'd be interesting to see a little bit of reflection for January for 2025. God, can you believe that it's already 2025?
It sounds weird to say. Like I haven't really processed
it's
that.
Not right. It's not right.
It's
I
not
was
right.
like, ooh, 2024 feels weird, but
Yeah.
it's too much for me.
The worst thing too is like on Instagram and people are just posting like COVID was 5 years ago. And I'm just like, my brain short circuits. I'm just absolutely not. No, sorry. 5 years ago? No.
That's so cursed.
I mean, it tracks for me because I was a freshman in college for COVID, and I'm like, now I'm just like, college seems like so long ago. It feels like it should almost be longer, but also it seems like it was yesterday. I don't know. It's just like a crazy mix of things.
Yeah, I was a sophomore in college, but I was like, I don't know, college doesn't seem that far away to me, but at the same time, like during COVID, I was a frontline worker, so that was like a whole, like a year and a half of just like drifting through space, not knowing what was going on.
Oh man,
that's a lot. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I have some wild working at the vet clinic during COVID stories.
Oh, I bet.
Really,
I can't even imagine.
People were really like, why can't we come in with our animals? We were like, because there is a pandemic. You have to just give your animal to us and we'll take care of it and we'll bring them back. It'll be okay.
Exactly.
Crazy.
Yeah. But enough on that. I saw another question in here, but then I lost it. Oh, do you have any literary fiction recommendations? I think this will be the last one we take if you guys want to do another short sprint, maybe. Like a 10-minute.
I gotta leave by 4, but we could do a 10-minute for sure.
Yeah. 10 minutes sounds good. And then we'll just like end it after that.
Yeah.
But yeah, any literary fiction recommendations?
I wish I read literary fiction because it seems so cool and like authory to do, but I just don't read any, so I have no recs for you. But I bet you guys do though. I bet you guys read lots of literary fiction like cool people.
Not a ton. I do have one that I love, but I feel like it's not solely lit fic. Like it's a little mystery included. But Once There Were Wolves by Charlotte McConaughey, really recommend. It's great.
Yes. Book. Yeah, you were talking about that in
your blog.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, I need to pick that up, and that just reminded me to add it.
I think, Lynn, I don't know your tastes exactly, but I think you would like her.
Yeah,
and her work.
I probably would. Is it about science?
She like does deep dives into like ecology. Like she like does a ton of research. So the basis of this book is they follow like wolf researchers.
Oh yeah.
In Scotland. It's really, but it's like it's so much more than that. Her prose is beautiful. Like the thematic depth of her writing is phenomenal. So I would really recommend.
Okay, I'm adding it to my add to cart. Like that was all I needed to hear. For me, I do read a fair amount of lit fic. I read a lot of like literary fiction is kind of hard to define sometimes because there's that boundary of like speculative fiction that's kind of a mix, and that's kind of where I like to sit. I like a lot of short fiction that's literary. I have to look at my story graph to really pull out the deep cut recommendations.
Yes.
I love Storygraph.
Me too.
Get on that one.
I prefer it so much over like Goodreads.
Goodreads is so ugly. Like it's so, the UI is terrible.
So bad. It's been the same since I downloaded the app when I was 10. So
that's actually it should have changed. It should have changed. Yeah, I mean, I get why people stay on it because it has more of like a community, but I really just track reading, so it's I mean, I just want to public reviews. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I interrupted you. Sorry. Like I don't love like rating books. I don't know. I just like gives me it stresses me out. But then I just want to be able to like at the end of the year see what I read and like how many books that I read, and Storygraph is like perfect for that.
Yes, yeah. And it gives me like little stats of my reading, and I love stats, so it's perfect. I really liked Sorrowland by River Solomon. Would that be lit fic? It's really more speculative. See, there's that line, but it has beautiful writing. It's about cults, which I've been on a big like cult kick. I don't know why.
Happens to the best of us.
I mean, it's just interesting, the psychology of it.
Yeah.
And then I've been reading a lot of nonfiction. I liked The Crane Husband by Kelly Barnhill. That's also like more speculative. Yeah, see, everything I read is like more on the line. A true proper lit fic book that I liked was A Visit from the Goon Squad by Jennifer Egan. I read that a couple years ago, and it's one of those where every chapter is like a different character's kind of story, but they all intersect, and it jumps back and forth. And one of the chapters is a PowerPoint presentation, so it's pretty cool. That's what litfic is to me. It's like very experimental, and a little bit wacky. But that was a good one. Yeah, great, good question. All right, 10-minute sprint, and then we'll be done. Hopefully we can push through and get a lot of words in this last one here.
Let's do it.
Let's get it. that is the last one. So we are all set. Oh, I messed that up. Hold on. Okay, there we go. It is a mystery to me. Oh my god. How'd that go for you guys?
Good. I'm just still in Act 3, but it's actually so helpful to write a synopsis. Like, I don't hate them as much as I thought I would. Because
Good.
especially with mystery, you're never just like straight up just saying, like, here's what happens, you know, because it's like all like revealed in information. So it's kind of like nice and clarifying to just write, this is what's happening at the end, you know? So, like, even just for me to like keep that in the back of my mind. So it's going well. I think I'll probably be able to finish it like this weekend, which would be wonderful. So,
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think it went well. I think I got like 200 something words, I want to say. Almost done
Yeah.
with this scene, which is very exciting. How about you, Lynn?
Yeah, I'm about the same. I'm still jumping around trying to kind of like figure out the structure. I outline, I just end up never adhering to my outline. So this part is always a fun,
Relatable.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
Just trying to figure out what works and what doesn't. But yeah, it was a really great session for me overall. Thank you guys both so much for coming and hanging out. And thank you to
Yes.
everyone in chat as well. I hope you all had a
Yeah.
good, productive stream. Any closing statements from you guys? Anything to promote or check out?
Yeah, I mean, just my YouTube channel, Alyssa and the Books. I do a lot of vlog content, and also I talk about just my experience pursuing traditional publishing. I'm not, you know, haven't quite made it yet, but I just kind of talk about that stuff. So yeah, then I do live stream pretty frequently too. So yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having us, Lynn, and thanks everybody for joining in the chat. Same as Alyssa, my YouTube page, which is Ari's Pages or at AriBPK, but I do similar stuff, a lot of writing blogs, just kind of cataloging the journey. And this was a great sprint session. So thank you guys so much for having us, but also joining us in the chat. It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely check out both their channels. If you're here, you probably know my channel as well, but you know, you can subscribe if you want to. I also have a short story out if anyone wants to read it. It's Cli-Fi.
It's so
Just
good.
thought I'd plug that. Oh, thank you.
Mhm.
Yep, that's out free to read on Grist, and there should be a link in the thing. But yeah, check out both Ari and Alyssa's channels, please. Their videos are amazing. So that's all. Thank you guys so much. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.